back. Jeff the Mells is here. Sorta.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. Pringle Son is here.
He's sorta here. He's on the phone.
What can you not fucking hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh.
Just saying. We got another tier list today. We're continuing the movies tier lists. This is the third one. We did Pixar, but now we're just doing like main Disney, and this is a large list. There's a ton of movies on here. Old, new, classic, forgettable, and everywhere in between.
I can't see the tier list. Do you have the live action ones on there or no?
No, because many of them are remakes of ones that are already on here. So.
And no straight to DVD sequels?
Straight to DVD? I don't know, I just went off the Wikipedia.
You know, like Lilo and Stitch 3 through 5? Or 2 through 5, I mean? Not 3 through 5.
I don't think there's a 2 through 5 here on Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is on here somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. I can see it.
You know,
there's some good stuff though.
Most of the old Disney movies, any sequels that happened went straight to DVD.
Yeah, that was big in the 90s and 2000s. Straight to DVD. Home movie.
Yeah.
Alright, well, it's going to be a long list. Let's get down to it. The first one is, we got a lot of classics here in the beginning. The first one is Snow White.
I think at the time, maybe it was good. Looking back on it now, it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's not that great. Probably C or D.
I think purely due to how, it is like this first movie that Disney ever did. That's the only reason they would put it high up on the tier list. But, like, as a movie, the quality is kind of awful. But, I mean, you gotta give it some credit for being old.
Yeah, we'll bump it up to C. I think C is a good average ranking for it, not D.
It's definitely not the best Disney movie.
It's not the best, but I don't think it's the worst either.
No, I could.
We're gonna get to some pretty. We're gonna get to some pretty bad ones. Oh, Shark Tale's not on here. That we did that for DreamWorks. Never mind.
I was like, Shark Tale is not a Disney movie.
All right, moving on. Pinocchio movie thing. Is this the one that traumatized me? Is this the one that traumatized everybody? It is.
Pinocchio's pretty good. I think it's really funny in a lot of the parts. Monster the Whale was one of my favorite things in the entire thing.
It's a trauma. It traumatized.
Is a reoccurring character. He's like Tinkerbell that always comes back. I think this movie's a B tier. It's got a good story to it. I think as far as it's also pretty early on as well. So you gotta give it credit for that. How good it is for its time. I think coming from Snow White to this, I don't know if this movie did better than Snow White did in the theaters, but I feel like it should have because it was more structurally sound. The story was better. The characters were perfect. It was one of those movies that I only needed to see once to understand the whole movie, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing.
There's a scene in this movie that just traumatizes a lot of people even to this day. That doesn't take away from the quality of the movie, obviously, but I think that makes it more memorable to a much more modern audience as well.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the first appearance of Mickey Mouse in at least the movie aspect, Fantasia.
Okay, so there are two different Fantasia movies. There's
yes.
The early one and the newer one.
I've got the newer one on here as well.
I've seen the early one, but I think it's the one with Wizard Mickey.
It is. That's what it is, Wizard Mickey.
And that's all I can remember is the villain, who's like this giant demon guy who looks sick as hell, and then Mickey and the broomsticks. Now, based off of those alone, I'd say it's pretty good. But it is more of a music thing than a movie itself. I would put it right there with Snow White because it's movie-wise, it's not something that you go to the theater to watch. It's something you go to the theater and listen to. So it's a little, in modern standards, nobody would ever have gone and seen it.
Probably. Next up is Dumbo. Right? That's Dumbo? Yeah, that is Dumbo. moving out next. I'm letting
B
you
tier,
do
the elephant gets drunk.
it. What?
B tier, the elephant gets drunk.
A drunk elephant.
He's got a discount Jiminy Cricket. It's a mouse. It's pretty good.
I'm letting you do a lot of these explanations. Like, I've seen these movies, or at least parts of them. A lot of these older ones, I just don't remember too much from them.
I feel like the early animal movies. This one's definitely up there with the good ones. He's an elephant with big ears, so for whatever fucking reason he can fly. I think that's pretty good as far as movies go, especially early Disney. Like I said before, Pinocchio was good because the story was good, and at the time it was good. You know, I think Dumbo's definitely up there, and it's one of the ones that everybody always remembers as well.
Right. Moving on to Bambi. Bambi.
I hate Bambi, but not because it's a bad movie. I hate Bambi because straight off the bat, they kill, like, I don't know if Bambi's a guy or a girl, I can't remember.
It's probably a girl.
They kill Bambi's, I think, mom and dad.
So this is one of
by himself.
So this is one of the early movies that set the cliche of the parents dying at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I think, again, as far as, like, movies go, same as Snow White, it's not structurally sound. You know, it's about this, I don't even remember. I've seen it like 3 times maybe, but I couldn't tell you what the fucking point of the deer was. I just remember his parents dying, and there was this rabbit and a skunk. I always get it confused with the skunk from Looney Tunes. Yeah, I only really remember Thumper.
So, where should it go then?
Like, C, D tier, probably B tier.
B?
D.
Oh, D. D for dead parents.
Nice.
Let's see, what's this one? Now we're getting to some of the more irrelevant older movies. This one is Saludos Amigos.
That was the one with Donald and the birds, wasn't it?
Oh, this is like Donald Duck introduction.
It wasn't an introduction. It was just a weird spin-off movie. E tier. It's not a good one. As far as like, main, non-movie Disney characters like Mickey, Goofy, Donald, Daisy, all of them. This one's really terrible.
I mean, Donald Duck's not a really good character in my opinion for it's his own movie. It's more of just a side character just because of how they developed him. But
there is a main off non-movie Disney character that has an incredible set of movies attached to his name.
Is that Goofy?
We'll probably get to that later.
Is that Goofy?
Yes.
I know what movie you're talking about. At least one of them. Because we saw it at school many times. What's this one? The Three Caballeros.
Oh, that might be the one that I'm thinking about with Donald Duck. Either way, terrible movie. Put it right with the other one.
Perfect. Rounding it out, because if we fill up the bottom tiers too fast, they're gonna get clogged up with ones we haven't done yet.
Oh God.
Well, this is a massive list.
Continue.
Make Mine Music. I think this one also involves Mickey Mouse.
Put it right there with the Donald Duck one. I'm sick and tired of these stupid movies.
We're just putting them all there. We're just putting every single movie into E tier now.
This one there, Tyler. Put it there.
Oh, this one definitely did involve Mickey Mouse again.
It was irrelevant. I've never heard of it.
Fun and fancy free.
Irrelevant.
Well, they're irrelevant. They're going in the. If we have never seen them, and therefore they're irrelevant, we're putting them in F tier.
Put them in F tier.
Let's see what we got next. This is probably another one. Melody Time. I don't know what this one is.
Put it in F tier. What the hell was that?
I don't know. No, let me switch the phone over to my right hand so this goes faster. Don't worry, we're getting back to some more relevant ones. But first we've got Lengthy McToad. What?
Lengthy McToad.
Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That's a good movie. It's actually like a two-part thing. The Ichabod is different from the Mr. Toad part. I did watch it fairly recently.
Oh, I think I've seen the Mr. Toad part. I don't think I've seen the Ichabod.
Ichabod is the story of the Headless Horseman.
Ooh, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that, but I've seen the Mr. Toad part many times. That's
Mr. Toad
that's pretty
gets
good.
arrested for stealing a car and stuff like that.
Oh wait,
it's actually
what?
really good. I think it's.
Oh no, I'm thinking Toad. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Think of Toad and the Frog or whatever that was. I don't even think it's a movie. I think it's just a cartoon.
The voice acting is kind of like the audio itself is kind of bad, but the story is really funny. The Toad one.
We're still in like
Good,
the 40s and 50s here, so.
Ichabod. Yeah, I think it's a B tier movie.
All right, this one is Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Another iconic princess, but.
It's a little too hyped up. It's not that great. I mean, it's got a little bit of a great parts, but compared to like the original Cinderella story, it's not great. I mean, the sisters cut off their own toes so they could fit the slippers. This movie would have been placed A or S tier if they would have done that in there, but they didn't. Instead, they were just shitholes. And then they proceeded to make two whole other movies based around the same concept of Cinderella. Unnecessary and unwanted. I think that this is a E tier movie.
Shit. Iconic character gets an E tier ranking.
Yeah, it's overrated. It's not a good movie.
Alright, moving on. Is this Alice in It is Alice. What the hell is this movie doing here? This must be
Alice in Wonderland is a Disney movie.
I know it is, but it's early. These are in chronological order.
But Alice in Wonderland is a good movie. It's got a lot of good, memorable characters in it. They even made like kind of their own separate live-action series that's different from the more modern live-action. Similar to Maleficent, how it's based around that character, but it's not exactly the same story. I think that Alice in Wonderland, the original, is a good movie. And,
so, A, maybe? B?
I'm thinking B tier. It's not one of the best, but it's good.
Okay. Good. Oh, this one's Peter Pan. I think. Let me see what the actual name of it. Yep, Peter Pan's A tier.
Spin-offs off of that with Robin Williams called Hook. That was a good movie.
Oh yes, I love that movie.
Going back to Peter Pan itself, it really did have a lot of good aspects in it. I really like, you always remember what is it? You can fly, or they can fly, they can fly, they can fly. You always remember that. Also, iconic character Tinkerbell is literally one of the most iconic Disney characters there is.
Tinkerbell is used in so much nowadays. It's like...
Yep. She got her own set of spin-off movies and, I believe, a show. There was another show based off of...
She got a show,
Peter Pan,
for sure.
That was for the Pirates, and that was a good kids show as well.
She got a show, and she got a toy line based off the show.
What? Sorry?
Tinkerbell got her own show, and she got her own toy line off of that show.
She got her own movies. She got so many movies.
I know, she got a ton of stuff.
A couple of her movies even went to theaters. There was the one with, like, the Beast or whatever. I can't remember what it was. Like a wild animal sort of thing. But that one was apparently really, really good. But yeah, Peter Pan. I'm putting that A tier. That was a good movie. I like Captain Hook. The crocodile idea as a villain for the villain. Good idea, good concept. Good movie. Really terrifying backstory. But yeah, good.
Alright, moving on. Oh shit, what is this one? This one didn't have a poster, that's right. Some of these don't have a poster because they're so irrelevant. But this is not one that's irrelevant. This is an iconic movie. It's one with the dogs, and they're eating spaghetti together. That ring a bell?
Lady and the Tramp?
Yeah, Lady and the Tramp. There we go.
It's iconic. They recently made a Disney Plus exclusive live action for it. Again, though, I think it's overrated. I don't think it's necessarily a good movie. It's got dogs, and they're in love.
Eating spaghetti
together. But besides that, what can you remember?
I don't know. That's the picture I used, is the dog eating spaghetti, because that's all I could find.
That's all he remembers.
I know, right?
Eating spaghetti. Nobody remembers anything else. I think that there's movies that could be considered a knockoff of this movie that are, like, better. For instance, the main plot of this movie is a street dog and a high-end dog fall in love, but they're not allowed to be with each other, and they get into some conflict. There's a
That's
lot of movies.
kind of a cliche plot.
Aladdin, for instance, it's a street rat and a princess. I mean, there's plenty of examples for this.
Right.
And this is not even close to one of the best.
So,
I'm putting it right above Cinderella.
So D tier, along with Bambi. Alright, where are we going to go next? I think we're going to start down here with... What is this one? Apricocious. Yep. Nope. Nope. Aristocats.
Tyler?
What do you want?
What are you doing? What is the next movie?
Aristocats.
Oh, did you say that? I didn't hear you.
Yes, I did.
Okay, Aristocats has a lot of good music in it. Not necessarily. Again, it's not a good movie. A lot of people would remember it as like, oh, it's so iconic. But here's the thing. What can you tell me about that movie besides like one of the songs?
I couldn't tell you anything about the movie.
If you're a fan of it, you can't tell me anything. And I'm putting it right there with Lady and the Tramp.
So another D tier movie. All over the place here. Yet the S tier is banned for right now. Let's do Sleeping Beauty next. Hello.
What's next?
Sleeping Beauty. Did I not? Can you not hear me?
I can't. I miss you saying all of these names.
All right, doing sleep.
I've never actually seen Sleeping Beauty.
I think it's a horrible concept for a princess. Obviously, honestly.
It's one of the few princess movies that I have not seen.
So it's gonna go in F tier then. Watch this controversial move, putting it in the F tier. Okay. Let's do this guy next. Oh, that's not it. What the fuck was that?
What's next?
Someone's just crawling up my ass leg. Okay. Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. That's a good movie. It's got good songs, good characters. For me, it's very memorable. You always remember like the sad sack of shit king who always sucks his thumb. The snake in that movie was very iconic to the point where they modeled the next snake, and I believe that one of the next few movies off of this snake, and even like the abilities that both snakes have. Good movie though, really good movie. Good main character. The rooster is really good. It's just got some iconic stuff in it. I think this movie is actually underrated, so I'm putting that one at A tier.
All right, Robin Hood taking the A tier spot. All right, this looks like a cover of a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. Oh, 101 Dalmatians.
Okay. So this movie got like 4 other movies and like 3 live action movies, and then I think it got its own show for a little bit too.
Probably did.
Okay. Controversial opinion, and of course, if you don't agree with me, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I'm kind of tired of your opinions at this point. This movie's bad. This movie's really bad.
So you say E or F, should I say?
I'm thinking E. It's got no, we'll put it in D tier because it's got a couple parts in it that are decent, but the villain is just really crappy. I'm gonna kill these puppies to make coats out of them. Okay.
Bro, what the fuck?
Good villain idea. Woo! 100 puppies? Wow, and they're all Dalmatians. Wow. They all get kidnapped. Wow, I can remember I think the main dog, like the dad, is like Pongo or something like that. I can't remember. I think basically I can remember a lot of that movie, and it just wasn't the greatest. Like the whole point of it was just not very strong.
Well, that's why it's getting a D ranking. What is this one? Sword of the Stone? Sword Stone?
I've seen this movie once. It was a long time ago. I can barely remember it. I know there's a lot of good stuff that comes after this, based off of this, and like good other things that kind of use parts from this movie. I remember Merlin. I remember the actual Sword in the Stone. I remember the kid, and I remember the evil lady who was ugly as hell. I can't remember anything other than that, though. I don't really remember the main plot. Obviously, it had something to do with the Sword in the Stone, but you gotta put it in F tier because I couldn't tell you unless you got something.
No, I'm letting you take the reins on many of these. Once we get to the more modern stuff, I'll be able to input more. But let's see. Let's look at this guy. What do we got? Jungle Book. Ooh. See,
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book got
it.
it.
Movie.
Yep, I like the Jungle Book. It's the only Disney movie so far that I think has gotten a great live action. I really love the Jungle Book live action.
100%. I was about to say the exact same thing. I think that the live action version of this movie they pulled off really well, as opposed to Lion King, for instance, which was a complete remake.
Exactly.
With the same plot, same dialogue. This one had new dialogue. This one, same plot, but it was oriented differently. Jungle Book is a good movie. I think that Baloo,
you think it's an S tier?
Is a really good character. Enough so that he was one of the final Disney Infinity characters that they ever made. I do own Baloo, in fact, as a Disney Infinity character. I think that Mowgli is a good character as well.
Yep.
Their relationship and Shere Khan. Shere Khan's a good villain, and I'd put him right up there with Scar as far as like Scar, Jafar, and Hades are some of my favorite villains, and I think that Shere Khan is one of them. So I'm gonna put this one at A tier.
Ooh, A.
Nah, screw it. Put it at S tier.
I was about to say it's an S tier. I'll say you gotta put it at S tier. I mean, I really love the Jungle Book.
I completely forgot about I wanna be like you, shooby-dooby.
Great movie.
That pushed me over.
Great movie.
Right,
great movie. Ooh, is this Winnie the Pooh? Winnie the Pooh? It is Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, so the Winnie the Pooh movies. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or if it's just biased on my own opinion. These are good movies.
I think they're pretty
even
good.
Like the spin-off movies, the Tigger movie, I think was a good movie. I think that these are really, really lighthearted. They have like really good feel-good themes. The movies themselves are pretty feel-good too.
They have good messages as well.
Right. I don't think that this is an A tier though. I think it's a B tier.
Yeah.
But again, I think they are good movies. They're movies that you would sit down. It's snowing outside. Sit down and your fireplace is going, and you got your TV, and this is the movie you watch, all huddled up.
Okay, moving on. We're getting there. We're grinding. We're almost getting to the modern stuff. I think we're in the 70s or 80s now. Rescuers.
Rescuers. Good movie. Is this the first one with the swamp, or is this Rescuers Down Under?
It just says The Rescuers. Wait, let me check.
Okay, so it's the one in the swamp then. Good
right.
movie. Really good movie. Underrated. Not as good as the sequel to it, though. So I'm going to put this one at C tier. Basically off the fact that when I went back and watched it recently, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't remember. I only remembered the good stuff after coming back from it, and then going back to it recently, there's a lot of bad stuff. And there was that whole thing where there was porn, Tyler, in one of the windows, and that was not a good thing.
Oh boy,
so they got in trouble for that.
Old Disney, man, they got away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So,
also wanted to consider
C tier
Tool.
for sure. It was a good movie, but looking back and watching it more recently, doesn't stand up to the test of time.
All right. Moving on. What do we got? Fox and the Hound.
Fox and the Hound is one of those movies that I always remember people talking so highly of, but I cannot remember that movie to save my fucking life.
So it's going in
I remember that the dog saved the fox or something like that, but I can't remember. I think it's a very lighthearted movie, but I don't remember it much. I mean, unless you remember a lot from it, you're going to have to put it in F tier.
Nope, it's going in F. All right, what do we got next?
I'm sorry about that one, guys. I can't remember this.
We can't see them all, okay? Come on, there's so many movies on here. Ooh, Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron is a terrifying movie. It has some terrifying things in it. But I can't, again, Fox and the Hound. It's been so long since I've seen it. You gotta put it in F tier unless you remember much about the plot.
Racist name.
What?
Nothing.
Racist name.
Nothing.
Talking about the what is it? The one where he goes, "I see trees of green."
Nope.
That one.
No, not
What's it
that.
fucking called? Song of the South.
Nope. Not talking about that. Never mind. The Great Mouse Detective is up next.
I love this movie. This movie is incredible. It used to scare the shit out of me when I watched it when I was younger. That fucking bat thing was so terrifying, and Ratigan, the main villain, is up there with my favorite villains. He is so fucking terrifying. Oh my god, like they all get drunk and they sing about him, kind of like Gaston. But to a more extent, he's more terrifying, and his intentions are not pure, and he fucking feeds the drunkest rat or mouse he can find to this cat, who then at the end proceeds to eat him. It's a very terrifying movie, and I think it's really good. I'm putting it at A tier.
What the fuck? That's a fucked up movie plot.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Go, watch it. It's really good.
I got movies to watch, okay? First,
It's like a Sherlock Holmes and Watson thing.
First, I gotta get Brian caught up on movies that he hasn't seen, and then I'll catch up on movies I haven't seen. Or maybe we'll do it in one sitting.
I gotta watch Megamind before it's off Amazon Prime.
Oliver and Company is next. They're sitting on a taxi.
Same as Aristocats. I couldn't tell you most of what happens in the movie.
Where did Aristocats go?
Put it at F tier.
I think Aristocats went to F, didn't it? No, it didn't. I don't know where it went. It got lost.
I don't know. Put it with Aristocats if you can find it.
Oh, it's in D tier. There we go.
Actually, you know what? I do kind of remember. Leave it with Aristocats, but I do kind of remember the plot of that movie. I think the main girl was like an orphan, and then I remember there was this cat and the nice dog, and they were kind of... It gets mixed up with a lot of other movies for me, but I do kind of remember it, but keep it with Aristocats.
Okay, perfect. Oh, this one's Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid is so underrated, you wouldn't believe it.
I've seen it, but it's been a really long time. I've seen it a couple times, though.
You gotta love Under the Sea. It's a classic.
Oh, yeah, totally.
There's so many others in there that are classic parts of that movie, too. Flounder as a character is a good round character. Ariel is a good character. Definitely one of my favorite Disney princesses. I think that Ursula as a villain is ugly as hell, but is also a very good villain. Now, her methods at which to, become Ariel isn't stable, but the more you think about it, her whole plan was to basically, immobilize King Triton, which she ended up doing, and then she would marry a prince. Basically, her end game, my opinion of what her end game was, to take control over both the land and the sea. Definitely up there with Scar and Jafar. She is overpowered as hell. And that end bit, where she's a fucking giant octopus monster, incredible. Good movie, A tier.
Alrighty. It's the highest ranked Disney princess movie.
Oh, there's one that goes higher than that, I think.
Alright, well...
Actually, there's two.
Well... Down the what? The what? The Rescuers Down Under. Oh, this is the sequel.
Rescuers Down Under
This is the sequel.
An A to S tier movie. It is absolutely perfect. That movie was even more terrifying, I think, than the first one, and the characters were more fleshed out. And of course, it was in Australia, so
Australia.
What a good movie.
I'm gonna put it in S tier. We need to get the S tier some love. Alright, let's see what we got. This was like a giant chicken. What is this? No, that's Beauty and the Beast. Whoops. Why did it look like a
chicken? Beauty and the Beast is an S tier. It has a lot of good songs.
I think so too. Yep, definitely. How about the
love
remake?
The story to that movie.
How about the live action remake?
Really good one. I can remember literally the Beauty and the Beast, that bit. I can remember every word to that song. I can also
How about-
remember every word to "Be Our Guest." That's a good song as well.
Yep.
And "No One Fights Like Gaston, No One Spits Like Gaston." That's a good song as well. That's 3 of them right there. And then there's the whole like ba da 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 da. That's a good one as well. Like music wise, this movie is on point. The story wise, this movie is on point. It's got incredible characters. Cogsworth and Lumiere, good characters, good duo. Belle and the Beast himself, good characters. Gaston, good villain. Not necessarily high up there as a villain. He's just kind of a douchebag, really, and he's trying to kill this beast. So yeah, good movie. S tier.
What about the remake? What would you say about that? I didn't include it on this list, like the live action one. I thought it was.
The live action remake is okay.
It's not as good
Not as good as the original.
Not as good as Jungle
But
Book. Not as good as the original.
Disney movies go, it's definitely up there with some of the better ones.
It's a better. Yeah, it's not the worst by any means, but it's not as good as Jungle Book. Come on.
No, Jungle Book, the live action one with that was so incredibly well done.
Alrighty. What do we? I think this is Aladdin, right?
Aladdin.
It is Aladdin.
That's an S tier movie
Is this
right there.
is this the one with
I mentioned before in the same thing that
Wait, S tier?
The whole Lady and the Tramp thing. This movie is the best of that variety right there, I believe. Jafar is a good villain with a little bit of a flawed intent where he wants to like marry Jasmine at the end, but he could have easily taken over the world if he wanted to. Aladdin as a character is really well fleshed out. I Can Show You the World is a classic Disney song. That's one of the go-tos that everybody remembers.
Is this the one with
Be Our Guest and I Want to Be Like You. Like those 3 songs are way up there as like good songs from good movies. And I always look back at Aladdin fondly. Robin Williams as the genie was really good. Like I think that this is one of the better Disney movies they've ever made.
Is this the one with his name Kronk, Joe Swanson?
No.
Oh, what movie is that?
That's The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, right.
How do you not know? Have you ever seen Aladdin?
I mixed the two up. I've seen Aladdin.
Movies are very different.
I've seen Aladdin, but I've seen the Emperor's New Thing memes, so I kind of mixed them up. Ooh, what's this one? Oh, The Lion King. Come on, the actual like.
S tier.
Yeah, it's definitely S tier. Come on, it's one of my favorite
Hans
movies.
Zimmer does the music for it. He is my favorite music composer of all time. My favorite music writer is Hans Zimmer. He's done some incredible movies, some incredible scores. Lion King has a really good story to it. It's got heart. Hakuna Matata. I can't wait to be king or whatever. Be Prepared. I was really disappointed when they didn't put that in there as a song for the live action remake.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I really like that one. That was a good song.
That would have redeemed it slightly for me, but no, it's just a piece of trash. Fucking burn it, set it on fire, throw it down the shithole. That live action remake was awful, especially compared to the mastery of the original. Fuck you, Seth Rogen.
So I know we're in the 90s now. So moving on next to Pocahontas, another princess.
It's all right. I wouldn't say it's a good movie, really. Kind of like the same. I've seen it multiple times. I've seen the sequel multiple times as well, thanks to my sister. As far as like quality goes, it's just not the best. You gotta put it at C tier for me.
All right, perfect. Fits right in there. Okay, we're almost done with section 1. Section 2 is not as large. Don't worry. Hunchback of Notre Dame or Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. That's a good movie. It's got a good villain. He's flawed by his own, he's flawed because he was grown up that way or he was raised that way. He's a man of God, and at the end is set ablaze in the fiery pits of hell, and that's a good sound ending. It's got good characters in it. The gargoyles are pretty fucking good, if I say so myself. Now, I don't remember many of the songs except for the one that fucking jester guy sings at the carnival.
Gargoyle.
But yeah, it's a good movie. I put it at B tier.
Okay, B tier, going in the B tier ranking. Okay,
I
what
can
is?
actually remember what the poster looked like for that movie, which is weird.
All right. Oh, was this Hercules? It is
Hercules S
Hercules.
tier.
It
That
is
is
her.
a great movie. One of my favorites, if not my favorite Disney movie of all time.
I was about to say. I thought you were gonna say your favorite movie of all time is like Mega Man? Question mark.
It's
Mega Mind.
definitely up there with my favorite movies of all time as well. It's really, really good. Danny DeVito plays Phil in that movie. That's so good. It's such a good movie. It's got such
Okay.
good actors and characters and stuff. Hades is incredible. Zeus. I remember. I could probably
Yep.
quote at least 3/4 of the entire movie right now. If
I've seen this movie before. It's been a while, but they got the Along Came Zeus meme. That come from this movie, right?
Along came Zeus, with Zeus is lightning. Yeah,
That's a good meme, and that's a good movie.
it's a great movie. It's got some good songs.
I'm moving everything over real quick. Well, first let's rank our next one. Mulan is up next.
Mulan, the original movie, is really, really good. Really, really good. I'm a fan of it. A tier for sure. The villain isn't very memorable, but the main character is. And the three fucking weird guys that were there the whole time. I think one of their names was Poe, but that's all I can fucking remember. They were good too. Mushu, great character. Really, really upset with the new live action version, but that's kind of the deal now. The live action movie's just gonna suck.
Yeah.
Good movie though, Mulan. Yeah, and it's got the Dark Side of the Moon song. That's a really, really good song, and it's very, very memorable. Good movie.
All right. So let's move on to our next one. What is this? Tarzan. It's been a really long time since I've seen this one. B. Oh.
For me.
It's been a long time since I've seen Tarzan, but I've seen it a couple times.
It has its moments. It's not as good as Mulan. It's definitely not as good as Hercules or Lion King. But it is good. And the guy at the end dies by hanging himself accidentally after falling through the trees. It's a pretty fucking dark ending. But it's pretty good. It's kind of more of like a feel good song music kind of thing to it, but it's not really like you couldn't really remember the songs from that movie.
Right. All right, so we broke in the new millennium, and I can tell because next one up is Fantasia 2000. Never seen it.
It's worse than the first one.
Well, we put the first one C. Let's put it at D tier.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not nearly as good as the first one.
It just doesn't fit in with what they were going with, and at that point.
Doesn't, and it's definitely not they had some pretty banger movies come up before that one, and this one is just not good.
The next one's a dinosaur. Didn't even. It's a clever name. Just call it Dinosaur.
Dinosaur is a good movie. Dinosaur is a good movie. Okay.
Explain.
The ride at Disney World. I got kicked out because I was crying because I was afraid I was going to get eaten by dinosaurs because I thought they were real.
You idiot.
Shut up. This movie was incredible, though. The whole extinction of the dinosaurs event. You don't really see movies based on that if they're dinosaur movies. It's it's post-extinction or it's Land Before Time and it's pre-extinction, stuff like that. But this one is right before they all die, and it's really, really good.
So where would you put it?
A tier.
Ooh, the A tier. Nice. Shoot, what is this one? Oh, this one's on the new Gronk one, whatever we were just talking about it.
Emperor's New Groove,
yeah.
Tyler. It's not
I can't read. Okay, God.
It's a B tier movie. It's good, but it's not the best.
It's got good memes, though.
Character. The actual other two characters in there that are main, besides the villain, she's ugly as hell, and I hate every bit of her. But the other two villain or the other two characters, I can't even fuck Cusco and the weird guy. I can't remember what his name is. They're good characters as well, and I think it's a good movie, but it's not the best. It definitely has a lot of flaws to it. It's actually starting the Incan period or something like that. Maybe it's the Mayan. I don't remember. I say the Incan period, but during the Incan civilization or the Mayan civilization, I don't remember.
It's got a lot of good memes from it, though.
Yeah, it does. Kronk is a good character, and he gets his own movie, but it's not a very good movie.
He got his own TV show known as Family Guy. Gets reincarnated as Joe Swanson. All right, we're moving on.
He was in the B movie as well.
Yeah. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, up next.
B tier. I just recently watched it for the first time. It's a good movie. It's not great. You know, we're kind of getting to the Treasure Planet phase where it was movies that I missed purely because they didn't appease what my parents wanted to see. So I don't have a strong connection to Atlantis or Treasure Planet or anything like that. So, you know, B tier.
All right. Now we're doing Lilo and Stitch, the movie.
Lilo and Stitch. It was one of those movies that I did end up watching, even though my parents did not like it. Which I still don't understand why. They don't like WALL-E either, and I like WALL-E and Lilo and Stitch are some of my favorite movies.
WALL-E's
I'm a really big fan of Stitch, and I always have been. Lilo and Stitch has some good messages in it. It's about aliens, but
yes.
in Hawaii, and not in the way you would think either.
It's not really
kind of like
it's Stitch and Lilo going on adventures, really. Like when you get to look at all the other spin-offs and stuff that I had.
The other spin-offs, yeah, it's just them running about fighting bad guys. But this movie isn't about that. This movie is about family. And Stitch dresses up as Elvis at one point, and I think that pushes me over. It's got to be A tier.
Yeah. They're not as iconic a characters as they once were, but they're solid. They were solid characters. It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. What is this one? Looks like a fiery train. Probably screwed that up. Yeah, it's Treasure Planet.
Okay, so I know a lot of people have a really strong connection to Treasure Planet. I've seen it once.
I have never seen it.
It's a pretty good movie, but it's got to go with Atlantis because, I have seen it. It's a good movie, but I don't have that strong connection to it that everybody else seems to have. It's kind of like, for me, the same way I feel about Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just not, I don't understand the cult following behind that, and, I don't feel like it deserves that cult following to begin with.
Oh, what's this one? Oh, this one. Oh, that brings back memories. This one, next one. Brother Bear.
Brother Bear is an S-tier movie.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
The songs in that movie, the characters, they're all good. It's got
a
great theme.
What does this one remind me of? It reminds me of... I watched Brother Bear a couple times, but it's been a while. But it reminds me of Open Season, probably just because of the bear part. But
there's nothing like that, Karen.
I know they're two completely different movies. I'm just saying. But still a really top tier movie for sure. I love it.
Brother Bear is a really, really good movie. It's got some really good characters. And, the villain of the movie is the main character, who is also the hero. And when he explains to, I can't even fucking remember, what the fuck is the Cub's name?
I don't remember.
It's
been super long time since I've seen this movie.
But, when he's explaining to the Cub that he killed his mom, that is a very deep moment, and it's sad, and then at the end, when he changes back to a human and then chooses to be a bear, it's a good movie.
I didn't even know this movie existed. I'm kind of scared of it. Bust-a-Moo? Or is that just a secret? Oh no, is it Home of the Range, or is it called Bust-a-Moo?
Home on the Range.
Oh, that must be just an advertising slogan. It says Bust-a-Moo, April 2nd.
F tier. I can't remember this movie to save my
life. I didn't even know this movie existed. Okay, now we're hitting a very nostalgic stretch now. We're getting down to the end. Next one up though. Oh, this is a classic. Chicken Little.
Chicken Little's a good movie, but it's not the best. Looking back on it, I talked with Wesley and Andrew recently. It definitely has its high moments, but I think the best part about that movie is the fucking fish. So, we're going to have to put it at B tier for me.
Oh, it brings so many nostalgic memories back, though. That was a...
You can place it higher if you want.
I think B's pretty accurate. B's pretty accurate.
It's not as great as it used to be.
I think B's pretty accurate. Okay, I've actually never seen this movie. But I've seen so many trailers for it that I basically know about it now. It's called Meet the Robinsons.
S tier movie. Meet the Robinson is a really good movie.
What?
After coming from Chicken Little and watching Meet the Robinsons, that movie is great. That movie is
Hey,
good.
let's go outside and play catch. It's like 70 degrees.
I know. I'll come out soon. We're almost done. We're almost done.
Well, cool. I'm going outside. We got like an hour before it's gonna be dark.
Because he's not going to invent this machine.
Okay,
Let's take him to the future and change
Plus,
his
mom's on
mind
conferences.
without telling him that
I know.
the future won't
You guys
happen
shouldn't be
if
doing
he
it.
doesn't make this machine. They just try to we'll go see your mom. He's got this weird obsession. At the very end, he decides not to meet his mom because he likes his current new family better. And I think that's very cool. And he does meet himself. And they describe him as a Cornelius. And that's pretty funny. So, it's a good movie.
Wait, what tier do you want it in?
Tyler?
What? What tier do you want it in?
Tyler.
What tier do you want it in? Oh, wait. What tier do you want it in?
S tier.
S tier. Perfect. Alright, we gotta speed this up. Bolt.
Bolt, A tier. Good movie. If we're going to speed this up, then I won't go in too much in depth into it. This movie is about a dog who thinks he's a superhero, actually stop being a superhero and become a dog. It's got a weird twist ending, though, that I'm not sure I like. Calico. That's
Okay.
like the main villain.
Princess and the Frog. Next.
See, the music in this one is really good. The story in this one is really good. The characters in this one are really good. I think it has to be S tier as well. It's a really good movie. Like, it has a lot of good the Firefly, when he dies, that is like super heartwarming, and I mean, not warming, it like touches you in your heart and you're like, oh no, but like, oh, it's sweet. He's going with his dead wife. And then the voodoo guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he's a really cool villain as well. Right up there with Jafar and Scar and all them. Like, I like him a lot.
Alright, moving on. We got Tangled.
Tangled is an S tier movie. You cannot change my mind.
I thought it was alright, but I
It is a
can see
good
why it was
movie.
S tier for you.
It is a good movie, Tyler.
I haven't seen it in a while. I should probably go rewatch it. Ooh, another Winnie the Pooh. This must be like a sequel or something. Just says Winnie the Pooh again.
If it's a sequel, then put it below the original.
Which you put at the... Shoot, where would you put it at?
Probably A or B.
I think it's B. Yep, B, so I'm going to go C. Wreck-It Ralph. The original Wreck-It Ralph, I think, is a great movie.
The original one? Yes. The original one is a great movie. Where do you think it should go?
I think it should go S tier.
I think it should go S tier as well. It's got two side plots as opposed to like the second one, which is just complete bad shit. It's just awful.
Well, we're going to get to the second one in a minute. But we're only on the first one now, so...
The first one is really good. It has a lot of funny bits in it. I really, really like Ralph as a character in this
Yes.
movie. And Fix-It Felix and Hero's Duty Girl and Vanellope. They're all really good characters.
Alright, moving on to Frozen.
And King Candy is a good villain, by the way.
Oh yeah, very good villain. Very, very good villain.
Have some candy. I like him. He's good.
I don't know where Frozen should go on here.
F tier.
We've seen it, so it can't go in F
The
tier.
hype is too much, Tyler. I hate that movie because of the hype.
It goes in E because we've actually seen it. But
I think it's terrible. Frozen is terrible.
yeah, it's pretty bad. But Big Hero 6 though.
Big Hero 6 is an S tier movie, and I don't care what anybody else says. That movie is good.
It's the only Disney Infinity character I have. I have Baymax. It's my only character.
I have Baymax and Hero. I mean, the main character, the main hero, his name is literally Hero. I mean, what kind of to pull that off, you'd have to be a mad genius. And he does that thing where he says, Harry baby, and the guy who played the main character in the Emoji Movie's in it, but he's a good character in this one. Stan Lee has a cameo in it. It's really good. It's a really good movie.
Really, really good movie. Zootopia. I'm not a big fan of this movie.
Initially, I think the movie is really good, but again, I think it comes down to hype. And that's really like the bandwagon effect that Disney movies and like anything that's owned by Disney has nowadays is just really awful and cringy and toxic. I think initially this movie was an A tier, but like the people who liked it and wouldn't stop talking about it and lived by Zootopia and like the hype train and whatever, like they made it a B tier movie.
Yeah, we'll go B. Seems pretty accurate for it. I'm not a big fan of it though. Moana, great soundtrack.
Moana, okay, so this is different. The hype train and all that was worse than I think Zootopia was. Not as bad as Frozen, but worse than Zootopia. But I think the movie is good enough that it should be an S tier movie.
It has a great soundtrack.
It does. The story in that movie is also very incredible. I mean, Maui and Moana, like, they're really good characters.
Right. Alright, next one. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Oh boy.
E.
Yes, going E. Should Frozen 2 just go down there as well? Or
terrible movie.
should Frozen 2 just go down there as well? Or
I've seen Frozen 2. It's not as bad as the first one, I don't think. And the hype wasn't as bad as the first one either. I think it's a B tier.
oh, B, okay. Well, just like that, the list is completed. Let's take a look at our final rounds. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 S,
Nice.
8 A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13 B, only 5 in the C tier,
Wow.
6 D, 6 E, and 7 in the F tier. So pretty well rounded, but B and S definitely dominated the whole spectrum. That was a big list.
Yeah, it was.
So that's it for this game, guys. Till next time.
Wait. I feel like we can't move on unless we talk about the Goofy movie.
About the what?
The Goofy movie.
That's not officially Disney.
You didn't even have that on there.
It's not officially Disney, though.
It is officially Disney. What do you mean?
It wasn't on the Wikipedia page, so it doesn't count.
I think it does count, and I think before we go, you should definitely talk about this movie being an
Well,
S tier like it should be.
It is definitely an S tier movie, but it wasn't on the official list, so I didn't include it.
I think in the list that I sent you, it was there. But it's a good movie. Those sequels are good, too. It's got a good story to it. Good characters. I like Goofy. This is really what made me like Goofy as a character.
Because he's more mature.
And I feel like opposed to the rest of the characters like him, like Mickey, Donald, like Goofy can hold his own movie the best.
Yes, for sure. He's more mature in the his spin-offs than he is in like when he's with Mickey and stuff.
Yeah, he just wants to be a good dad.
Yeah, that's a great character trait. Very great character trait.
Message in movie, it's good. S tier. All right, you can end it now.
All right, now guys, that's it for this video. Until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.